Hey selfies, and welcome back to a Selfish Mother Talks, a place where we protect our peace, choose ourselves first, and go through real life, not perfection. I'm your host, Kai M, and today on the persona, we're talking about something that literally everybody has experienced, right? Ghosting. But not just in dating, I'm talking about friendships, family, jobs, opportunities, people who just disappear without warning. So last week we talked about not begging for a seat at every table, right? But what happens when someone gets up from your table and doesn't say goodbye? Can I ask you something? What's harder? Someone telling you they don't want to be in your life anymore or don't want you in their life anymore, or someone just leaving without saying anything at all? Because I think what hurts the most isn't losing a person, it's losing the opportunity to understand why. Like, what made them decide they no longer want to be a part of your life, right? What made them be like, oh, well, this isn't benefiting me anymore. I'm done. And mind you, it could be because of plethora of things. They might have outgrown, like, y'all might not be growing together. You might have outgrown them in certain areas of their life and they're trying to move this way and you're moving that way. It could be just simply because the person that they're dating doesn't like you. And yeah, it could be a lot of things, but which is harder? Is it them saying bye or is it them just leaving and just leaving you high and dry? Right? So why does ghosting hurt so much, right? As humans, we naturally seek closure from people. We replay conversations, we blame ourselves, we create different scenarios in our heads, and we just keep looking for answers that we may not ever get. Like, how many times have you reread old messages and looking for something that you missed as to why they left? Or how many times have you just blamed yourself for someone else's lack of communication? I know for myself, I had a friend who I loved dearly, right? And I was there for them through thick and thin, at least I thought so. But they started disappearing, right? They started ghosting me. And it was fine. But the ghosting came in a way that they told me that they no longer wanted to be my friend. And I don't know, that just stung. Like, to this day, it still hurt, but it is what it is. But like, it stung me to my core. Like, when I tell you, I called my counselor, I was crying. I mean, like, boo hoo, you would have thought I lost a loved one. You would have thought like my heart was broken. Like, but friendship breakups really are a true life breakup. Like, it was hard because that was a childhood friend, and it like out of the blue just came back and said, "Yeah, I don't want to be your friend anymore." Like, are we in kindergarten? And why does this hurt? Because remember the saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never break me." Nah, that broke me. I ain't gonna hold you. That broke me. It broke me to my core to where I was like, okay, I can't never let nobody get that close to me. Like, what? Is you cool? Me? And I didn't do nothing? Okay. Like, yeah, I promise you, I was in there so confused. I was so hurt. I was just baffled at the whole thing because it's like, wow, okay. And then years later came about. We finally like talked about it or whatever. They said it was them, that they was the problem. And we tried to rekindle the friendship and it was going smooth for a while. But then again, just last year, just last year, got ghosted. No, nothing. Like, I knew they were going through something. And I was like, hey, I'm just reaching out to make sure that you're good. Like, do you need anything? Like, do you need me to come over? Like, just to give you company, like, just to make sure that you're okay. No response. I got blamed, like, when we were talking before they stopped talking to me last year. I got blamed. It was like, well, you had me doing like your gender reveal and your baby shower, and I told you I was going through something, and like you just totally dismissed it. And I was like, I didn't dismiss it, but if you couldn't do it, you could have just said, no, I don't want to do it. Like, it's different. then you saying, okay, I'm gonna do it, but I am going through XYZ. Okay, so I wouldn't put that expectation on you to show up for real if you just said no, I don't want to do it. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm really not that hard to please. Like, it's okay to tell me no, I'm not doing it. And I'd be like, okay, and I'm gonna go find somebody else to do it, or I'm gonna just do it myself. Like, that's all it is to it. But you have to communicate. At least with me, you have to communicate, because don't just leave me high and dry. You know, like, don't just be like, oh, I'm just not showing up. Because in my head, you not showing up to one of my biggest days and you didn't tell me why. Now we got beef. Now it's a problem. And you could have really like been in a depressive episode, real deep into it, can't get out, and you really wanted to come, but you just didn't know how to vocalize it. But you didn't reach out to me, and I was supposed to be one of your closest friends, and you couldn't tell me nothing. Yeah, no, we got beef. Like, I ain't holding. We got beef. It is what it is. Like, wish you the best of luck, whatever. But it's like, at the same time, it's a different scenario and a different friend. I'm telling you, hey, like, I'm in this depressive episode. I'm focused on this. I can't really do a lot of things until after this day. And after that, my life should be like smooth sailing almost, right? But instead, you are talking about oh no, you'll be fine. You need to come do this. You need to do that. You're not taking my needs in consideration. And I'm being upfront with you. I'm not saying no. I'm saying just not right now. Because I have other things I'm trying to focus on. I have other things I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to pull myself out of this funk. So you won't have to, be around that at the same time. But, who am I to judge how others feel? Like, I can't control your emotions just as much as you can't control mine. What may piss you off may not piss me off. And that's what we have to understand too, because everybody lives a different experience. We all live in the same life, but everybody has a different experience in this lifetime, right? So, back to the topic at hand. Sometimes we suffer more from the stories we create than the truth that we'll never know. Right? So, we can study make scenarios and hypothetically what was this would have been the problem, and what about this, what about that, when we would never know the truth because they would never tell us. We cannot take the unknown and make it our known, knowing that we don't even know what happened, right? We have to understand that sometimes no answer is the best answer. My daddy used to always say, no mail is great mail. And I never understood that until like I got of age and older to understand, like, oh, if you ain't got no mail, that means that's good, because ain't nothing to do because you ain't got no bills. No mail is good mail. I get it now. It makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, okay, no mail is good mail, but if I'm reaching out and you're not responding, that's not good mail. Because now I'm overthinking. Now I'm doing the worst case scenarios and trying to figure out what happened. And when all in honesty, we just grew apart and nobody knew. And nobody wanted to say anything, right? Now it's like, oh, well, such and such said that we wasn't friends anymore because we did da da da. And all in actuality, it's just like, no, we just stopped talking. Like, it wasn't no bad blood. No, we just stopped talking. Like, my bad. And the phone goes both ways. Like, don't let nobody ever try to tell you, well, you could have reached out if you was thinking about me. You could have reached out as well if you were thinking about me as well. The phone goes both ways. And today's day and age, everybody got Wi-Fi. Your phone may be off, but everybody got Wi-Fi. Every place that you walk in got Wi-Fi for the most part. There's no excuses. If you can post on social media all the time, you can send a quick 2-second text and say, hey, how are you? Just thinking about you. That's all you have to do. And I'm saying this to say, yes, I have a problem with doing that at times, but at the same time, when I sit down and I think about it and I say, oh, I need to call such and such, I call such and such because you were on my mind. I could be out the state minding my business and I say, oh, such and such lives here. Let me call and see if they're home so I can pull up on them and make sure they're okay because I haven't seen them in a while. And I would do it. Simply because you were on my mind, I thought about you. This reminded me of you, so I'm going to make sure that you know that our friendship, our relationship is still good because I thought about you and I know life is busy, but since I have this free time, and if you are currently free right now, I would love to bring you a coffee. If you're at work, I will bring you a coffee. Just say, hey, thinking about you. Here you go. Enjoy the rest of your day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something. It's always something. And silence leaves rooms for assumptions. And as for assumptions, they are rarely kind to us. Because you know what I'm gonna say? When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. An assumption ain't nothing but assuming. And what are you doing? Exactly. So why worry when things just stop? Why? And I'm not saying we're not going to do it. It's human nature. But why? Why does that bother us so bad that this person stopped talking to us? This job just let us go with no questions asked. This family member just stopped talking to me just random. Like all I did was say, "Hey, how are you?" and they just never responded back. And now all of a sudden I hear my name talking about something. Oh yeah, because she doing this, and this, and that. But you never came to me and talked to me about it, right? Why? Why? Just why? Right? Why? And so you have to stop waiting for an explanation, right? Not everybody knows how to communicate. And I know I just said you have to communicate. Not everybody knows how to communicate. And if they do know how to communicate, sometimes they don't communicate well. Sometimes the way they say it, in the tone that they say it, it could be condescending. It could be rude. It could be very blunt. It could be, oh, you just saying this just to say it and I don't even care no more. It could end up like that, right? And that's okay. Because that's just how that person is. But you have to know that person to understand why it sounds like that. Okay? Like it's not up for a debate or anything. You know your friends, you know your family, you know whoever this person is. They ghosted you and you want to get an explanation, but whenever you talk to them, it's rude. Oh baby, I don't need no explanation, baby. I don't care. Please be rude over there. Don't come to me with that, right? And then you have some people who avoid conflict because, well, not conflict. They avoid conversations because it's uncomfortable and like they don't like confrontation. And I have a friend who's not confrontational. And I was the confrontational friend. Like, what you mean? Like, don't run up on her, run up on me. Like, she's not going to do nothing. I'm going to do something. So, what is the problem? And like, you also, again, that goes back to saying you have to know the people that you're doing this with because it just doesn't make sense. Like, it don't make sense to you, but when you sit down and think about it, like, oh, well, they don't like conflict. So maybe something happened like I did and I didn't realize it. And then, yeah, like we have to understand how it may go, you know? And then sometimes people just leave because of their own issues. Life just happens to people and people just get in their own bubble and they forget about the world and they forget about you. And it's really no bad blood, no nothing. They just stuck in their own world dealing with whatever is bothering them and bringing them down that they forgot that they have friends and loved ones that love them, that want to check on them, but they cannot do it because they are so stuck in their head and they think everybody's out to get them that they don't know that it's okay to breathe and let somebody else in. Right? So you just may never know why that person stopped talking to you, right? You may never understand what triggered them to ghost you, what triggered them to this, and to be honest, don't care why, because it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect you today or tomorrow once you realize that it wasn't. They left your life for a reason and it was in your life for a season. Whatever lesson you were supposed to learn from them, you got it. And now it's time for you to take what you learned and apply it to the next part of your life. Don't just sit there and be like, well, we were so close and we did everything together, and I just don't understand why they won't answer the phone for me. Like, I didn't do anything to them. Baby, that's the Lord telling you that their purpose in your life has done its purpose. It's done now. You got everything that you needed from them to move forward in your life, to become the next stage, to become the next person that you're trying to be, to reach the goal that you want in life, okay? That's it, that's all. Because if they never explain, will you allow your life to stay on pause? I could be sitting in my very first apartment that I did by myself, still crying, in my bed, in my couch, moping around, because my childhood best friend told me that they didn't want to be friends with me no more, and I did absolutely nothing. That right there was like, was it 10 years ago now? It's more than 10 years. It's going on 10 years. It might be 6 years, something like that. I think it happened like 2019 or something like that, right? Do you see me worry about it? We rekindled the friendship, yes, but then again, I got ghosted again. And do you see me over here worried? No, you know what I did? I moved accordingly. We no longer share locations, because if you can't talk to me, there's no need for you to be stalking me to see where I'm at. Moved locations. The number not deleted, but we don't talk. They still like my stuff on social media. That's cool. I mind my business. They drink their water and mind their business. You know what I'm saying? We support each other in different ways to understand that they're moving on a different schedule than what we are. And it's okay to understand that not everybody is going to go with you in every aspect of your life. That was a childhood best friend, and baby, we was friends since high school. And I'm 30 now, and you're in high school at the age of what, like 12? And I want to say I met her at like the age of what, 15, 14, 15, somewhere around there. I don't know what age you are in high school, but somewhere around there. And we just stopped being friends a year ago. That was a good little bit. That was over a decade, you know. I now have a best friend that I've known for a decade as well, and guess what? She ain't going nowhere. 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 I am the godmother to her children. Nowhere. She could get rid of me if she wants. I'm still in the family. Nowhere. Okay? Literally just pulled up on a family vacation with him. Wasn't even invited. Nowhere. Okay? That's how much that I'm not going nowhere. I don't care what she say. Nowhere. Stuck with me for life. Love you. Nowhere. Okay? Because choosing peace over answers will always be a thing for me. I don't want to walk around on eggshells when I see you in a grocery store and be like, oh, I can't go on this aisle because they're down there and we haven't talked because I don't know why they just stopped talking to me. No. I'm not going to avoid places that I used to go to because I know you're going to be there. No. I'm not going to, I don't know, I'm not going to make myself known to you just so I can get a reaction out of you either. I'm going to continue to live my life the way that it was meant to be, because that's just how it's meant to be. I was talking about off of just friendships, right? Relationship wise, last year, I was talking to somebody, right? And coincidentally, it's kind of funny. We both ghosted each other. Why? To be honest, they were a rebound for me. I'm not even gonna lie. But at the same time, while talking to them for the brief period that we did talk, it wasn't nothing that really was worth a oh, let's try to make this work, let's be in a relationship type thing, because they didn't respect the fact that I had a kid. They didn't respect the fact that everything that I do, I have to make sure I have a sitter because I have a child. And if you want to go just on a random Tuesday, go out, baby, who's going to watch my baby? I can't drop everything that I'm doing to go be with a man when I have a baby to take care of. Who are you to tell me that I should not be a mother? Excuse me? Okay. And so it happened like that. And then there's another perspective where I had got closure from a dude because we were close, semi. We was straight or whatever, and we were talking, and like we both knew that we both liked each other or whatever, and we both understood the fact that like this wouldn't work because of different reasons and everything, but we both told each other like, hey, like I just want to be friends, like it's fine, da da da, blah blah blah. And I said, okay, that's fine. I said, I just want to let you know ahead of time that I'm going to block your number. I said, because I don't want no drunken nights to be like, oh, let me call such and such because I'm drunk and I just want to be around him. When if we're just friends, friends don't do that. And so then like he got in his feelings about it. He was like, I don't want you to block me. Like we have a good friendship or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not how that works. I said, because we've already opened that can of worms to the point where it don't matter what you want. It's all about me now. Like I'm about to be selfish again because we agreed to just be friends. We just homeboys. I don't kiss my homeboys. I don't sleep with my homeboys. I don't do nothing with my homeboys. They are literally my brothers. I will fight you. That's about it. Okay? We will fight. We can fist fight. Put on the boxing gloves. We can do all that. We can go outside and play football. We could do all of the things that we would normally do, minus the sexual stuff, because no. But I know that we have a sexual history. And in order for me not to be like, oh, well, I'm going to just call such and such, because I know that I'm going to get what I want when it comes to this. No. It's not because I'm mad at you that we're friends. It's the fact that I am having self-control over it because I don't want to call you when things like that happen. You know? But they didn't understand that. But again, it's not for them to understand. It was for me to understand, because at the end of the day, it's my life. You live yours, I live mine. The hell? And so, closure doesn't always come from a conversation. Sometimes it comes from a decision. And just like with those last two scenarios I just told y'all, the decision is always up to you as to why you decide to ghost somebody, and or the decision is up to that person as to why they decide to ghost you. It never just comes just because they woke up one morning and said, oh, yeah, I don't want to talk to them no more. I know y'all be reading little zodiac signs and they be like, oh, this zodiac sign is the most, to just be like, wake up one the next morning and be like, oh yeah, I'm not doing that no more. Yeah, it doesn't do that. It doesn't happen like that. It stems from stuff that has already been building up, and they just didn't understand where it was actually coming from. Okay? So it's never you. It's always, let me take that back. It could be you. It could be them. I'm not going to say it's never. It could be either or. But just know, it's never your responsibility to find out why they ghosted you. Okay? But, okay, selfies. Let's take a quick little breaky break, because you already know what time it is, right? Exactly. It's poor decisions time. So come on. Let's go. Let's go grab a drink. Come on. Okay, so let's get into today's poor decisions. We are going to do our famous toast. We are going to do some lemonade, a little blueberry puree, and we're going to do a cold foam today, guys. I'm so excited. Ugh. Okay, so first, let's pour the puree in first, right? And then we're gonna get some ice. Ooh, making a mess already, boy. Okay, so pour it in the puree first. Not a lot. That's maybe like 2 ounces, if that. Okay, now we need some ice. Our ice is frozen. Okay, get some ice. A little more. All right, that's all of our ice. Okay. Let's pour in our toast. Let's pour in our lemonade. Okay. Let's give it a little stir. A little stir. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's starting to look like something. Now, for the best part, right? Let's do the cold foam. So for your cold foam, you're going to need another glass, right? Obviously. And you're going to need tablespoons, okay? Tablespoons. You are going to need 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. 1, 2, 3. 2 tablespoons of whatever milk of your choice. I only drink oat milk, so oat milk it is. 1, 2. Now this is when the fun comes in, right? You do a tablespoon of whatever you like whatever flavor you like. This right here is just some simple syrup that I made. Just gonna add a little bit of that in there because my French vanilla that I'm putting in, right? Because I want it to be a little cold foam with a little sweetness. Well, mine doesn't have no sugar added, so yeah. Do that right there. And then you just froth. And you froth, and you can't froth no more. Okay? And you don't do it to where, like, you know, it's too thick. You just want it a little creamy, you know? I feel like I added too much. Okay. There you go. I was about to say, because it's not working. It will. That's because I wasn't paying attention. Okay. And now since that's done, sometimes we're so focused on what's missing that we forget the story isn't even finished yet. And there, my selfies, you have the unanswered. Cheers. So today's fourth decision is called the unanswered. Because sometimes there's no need for you to answer what's already been said in silence. So go ahead, take a sip. Okay, let me see how it tastes. It tastes like it. That phone call we need to go and answer. Don't even worry about why they ghost you. That's what it tastes like, okay? But all right, y'all. Let's get back into today's episode. Your healing doesn't require their apology, right? Why are you still waiting for an apology that you're not going to get? And I'm not saying you won't get it ever, but it won't come when you need it the most, right? You have to forgive and just don't forget, right? Like, you're waiting for acknowledgement on something that you have no knowledge of why it happened the way it did. You're waiting on somebody to make it better, to make you feel good about yourself as to why they left you, when it doesn't even matter, right? Like, how much of your healing have you placed in someone else's hand? What if they never apologize? What if they never explain? What if they never come back? Right? What if? What if all of these things happen to the point where you tend to forget that that person was even in your life? Or you tend to forget that it doesn't even make sense because it was so big then, but now later on in the future down the line, it's so small and it never even mattered what their reason was, right? Like, did they deserve to have that much control over your peace? Did they deserve to be like, oh, I'm going to make sure that Kai has the worst life because I have ghosted her and she is never going to forgive me. I am always going to be on her mind. She will not function without me. That sounds a little controlling, don't it? That sounds like something that you want somebody to have that much control over your life, your happiness, your peace? You know, our motto is selfish with our time, intentional with our love, right? And you're letting somebody have that much control over you that you are now in an unpeaceful setting in your life because you're wondering about the what ifs, the why they didn't do this, the why they didn't do that, the why did they just leave it so abruptly and without no answer? No. I'm sorry, no. I won't allow you to do that. I don't care how much love you have for that man, that woman, that job, that relationship, that family member. I don't care. I quite honestly don't care. Because I've seen the way that it made you feel. I was there with you when you went through that time. I was there when you looked at it and you said, how am I going to get over this? How am I going to become the person that I need to become after dealing with this trauma that I have been through? I was there with you, right? And I didn't like how they treated you then, and I'm damn sure not going to allow you to allow them to keep treating you that way. They would try to circle back. They would try to be there and try to keep up with the unknown of you. They would try to always make their presence known to you when they shouldn't matter. You know why they don't matter? Because they left you. So it don't matter that was the love of your life and the love of your life just disappeared off the face of the earth. I know y'all seen them Netflix movies or Hulu or whatever little streaming shows they be on where the husband just automatically just went to work and just never came back and just ghosted his whole family and act like that. It happens in real life. They don't just wake up and say, oh, I'm going to leave. It's a thought. It's a process. It's a plot. You are part of the plot. And it's okay because the plot thickens. And you know why it thickens? It thickens because you got up. You dust that off. And you looked at yourself and said, baby, don't worry about it. I got it. I got me. I don't need you in my life. You wanted to leave? Stay where you at. And leave it just like that. Don't allow people to keep coming in and out your life like it's a revolving door. Once they ghost you once, keep them ghosted. Keep them as Casper the Friendly Ghost over there in the corner. Okay? Don't keep coming back talking about something. Oh, well, I loved him, but he said he changed, and God don't give a damn. He ain't changed. He went over there to see that the grass wasn't greener on the other side and realized that you was going to do more for him than what that girl was doing over there, and he didn't like it. That girl has structure and you ain't have none. He felt like you could just be walked all over, and guess what? You can't. You stood up for yourself. You know who you are, and you are that girl, okay? Don't allow people to ghost you and then come back into your life like nothing happened. That's not how that works. It's not how that works at all. You have to love yourself more and enough to understand that you are the one that needs this. You are the one that the reason why they left is because the lesson that you had to learn was learned. And it's time for you to take what you learned and apply it to the next stage of your life. That is why. It's not because they were supposed to be in your life forever. Tyler Perry said it best, right? They said, when you look at your friendships, it's like a tree, right? It's like a tree. When you have, you got the roots, you got the stalk, you got the leaves, you got the branches. Baby, they were a leaf. Leaves fall off every season. Their season is done. See, them branches, they on there for a little while. But sometimes they go ahead and fall and break off, right? But you know who don't go nowhere? Them roots. You have to dig deep to get to them roots. Because the roots ain't just on the ones that you just see on the ground, right? They're not those roots. We're talking about the roots that's underground that you got to dig for, that you got to find. The ones that keep you stable, the ones that come back and pick you back up when you go through these ghosting phases in your life. The ones who are always there for you when it doesn't matter in the time, day, or place. When they know that something is wrong, they show up for you regardless of how they're going on because they know that you need somebody in your corner at this very moment. That's why it don't matter that you get ghosted, because your true ones, your day ones, the ones that's going to ride for you no matter what, it's going to always be there for you. It don't matter. I have friends that I don't talk to every day. It's not even every week, but they know one call, that's all. What's up? How you want to go? That's all it means. Because life happens, okay? Life takes us on different roads. As long as we all come back, that's all that matters. It does not matter that you got ghosted. It does not matter that you didn't get a reason for why you got ghosted. It does not matter that you applied for that job 5 times, you went to all 17 interviews, and they just never responded back. And you've been emailing them, and you just like, Lord, why? Why didn't they respond back to me? Why didn't I get this position? I was overly qualified for this job. I need this job. You don't need that job. God always has something better for you, but you just have to focus on His word. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen because God already knows the plan for you, baby. He already knows that everything that you're trying to do, He has already done it for you. You just have to sit down and listen. You just have to do it. So again, do they still deserve that much control over your peace? Do they? Because if it's up to me, they don't. They don't deserve nothing. They gone, let them be gone. But your mama used to say back in the day, or your grandma, don't let the door hit you on the way out, baby. Stay there. Let them stay on the other side of the door. They cannot progress with you the way that you're going to progress because you are going off to do better things in your life. The reason why they ghosted you is for a reason. Their time's up. That's it, that's all. Their time is up. And you're upset about it because their time is up? Girl, please. Please. you're upset because what were they contributing to you? Why you were so upset about it? Why were you so upset about it? Exactly. You didn't even realize that you was upset over the fact that you didn't know why. And don't get me wrong, I had a bad habit as to texting people like, "Hey, why didn't we, work out or whatever?" Because I want to fix it for the next relationship, or I want to fix it for the next thing, right? And I love to ask those follow-up questions if they respond back. But if they don't, I'm not worried about it because I know who I am, and we just wasn't a match. Okay? Like, it doesn't matter why they ghosted you, because you will never get the answer that you were looking for in the first place. That's all I got to say. Thank you for coming to Selfish Muva Talks. Okay? So at the end of every episode, we now have a faith moment, right? And I just wanted to say, not every prayer is answered with an explanation. Sometimes we have to go through things to figure out how we can receive said things, right? So, say for instance, I want $1 million, right? The Lord is not going to give me $1 million because I know I am not going to be able to control $1 million and handle it in the way that He would need me to handle said $1 million. Okay? And so you have to understand that God sees what we don't, and we just have to trust Him because He knows the whole story, and we just see part of it, the ones that we can see right in front of us and what has already happened. Right? Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding." Sometimes peace comes when we stop demanding answers and start trusting God's direction. There's no need for us to worry about why when they left, because God needed them to leave so we can continue to progress in the ways that we need to. Okay? So, now we are doing our favorite segment outside of poor decisions. Okay? It's called, what's it called? A mother moment. Okay? And this week's challenge is write a letter to the person who ghosted you. A letter, not a text. A letter, handwritten, paper. You can type it up if you like. Don't send it. It's not meant for them. It's for you. It's for you to get the closure that you need. I want you to write how you feel, write everything out, and just put it all out there. Pull it all out there. Like, whatever has been bothering you about that situation, just put it all out there on paper. And then I want you to close it with, "I release the need for an explanation." Okay? At the end of that, I want you to write, "I release the need for an explanation," because you don't need an explanation. They left on their own terms. Allow them to stay hidden. Let them live their life. Don't allow them to come back in your life because they left for a reason. Take it from me. I told y'all I had a high school best friend. Told me she didn't want to be my friend no more. We came back as friends, and then she ghosted me again. I should have left her where she was at. But it's okay. Lesson learned. Ain't no double backs no more. And that goes for anybody. Because nothing is going to change if you keep allowing that door to be a revolving door every time. Every time they feel like they can just disappear and then they know that you're going to take them right back when they come back, it don't work like that. It does not. Okay? So also for your journal prompt this week, your journal prompt is, what would change if I stopped waiting for closure and choose peace instead? What would change in your life if you stopped waiting for that person to give you that closure that you're looking for and just chose peace instead? I want you to write how would your life look if you stopped looking for closure and you accepted the peace that it came with. Okay? So I hope today's conversation reminded you that your healing is not dependent on someone else's apology, right? That sometimes the most loving thing you can do is just walk away and stop waiting. Okay? So until next time, protect your peace, choose yourself first, and keep it coming. And bye, selfies. Oh, selfies! Oh my gosh! Before you leave, I want to let you know that we have a giveaway. We have partnered with So Delightful Catering. And with this giveaway, you can receive a free Selfish Muva signature t-shirt and a $30 voucher off the food truck, right? So you have to be in the East Baton Rouge Parish or willing to travel to East Baton Rouge Parish because that's where we are located, and to get everything. And then the giveaway will be going on from Monday, which is July 20th, through Friday, which is July 24th, right? Yes. And so during that time, all you have to do is follow both us, Selfish Muva, and follow So Delightful 225. So Delightful, 225 on Instagram. Like the post when you see it on Monday. Also tag 2 friends. You can share it. And then also for bonus entries, all you gotta do is tell me in the comment section, tell me what this week's poor decision was in the podcast episode, okay? That's it, that's all. I'm so excited. We'll be doing more giveaways in the future, but we have 2 lucky winners this go around. And so I just hope y'all enjoyed this. Y'all will love some good food. And until next time, bye.